Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.
What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And that is exactly what we do. And guys, you already know what day it is. I mean, if you're not living under a rock, you know exactly what day it is. It's Wednesday. And you know what that means. That means it is time for the Raw Deal with Howse and O'Neal. And of course, I can't do this without O'Neal because it rhymes, ladies and gentlemen. I know I've said this before, but it just sounds better because it rhymes. Raw Deal, Howse, and O'Neal just makes it sound cool. That's in my opinion. And of course, I need O'Neal, and that is, of course, the big dog, Annie O'Neal. She returns back to the Raw Deal. What's up, Annie?
What's up, Con? What's up, everyone? It's Wednesday. It's time to go over some Raw with Howse and O'Neal. Let's give it to them raw.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Consensually, of course, because they found us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, all right. The big dog doing big dog things.
Always.
And that rang true this past weekend, because I normally ask you how your past week went, Annie, but I know exactly how it went because you made your debut at Emerge Wrestling in Columbus, Indiana, and you were the backstage correspondent. And man, what a vibe, what a great show, what an atmosphere. You did great. You just fit right in into, once again, like I've said many times on this show, what I feel like is one of the most well put together independent shows that you're going to see in the Midwest. I mean, they put on a great show and you were part of it. And Annie, I think you knocked it out of the park.
You know what? Like, that pitch was lined up first or so well behind home plate. And I just stuck my bat out there and just cracked it out of the park. And everyone made it so easy. Everyone that I met was so talented, and they just made it so easy to do what I do best. And that is just ask why. Why, Con? Why this? Why that? How are you feeling? And I felt like I really stepped onto the fast track of something just so excellent. Like, it's right now, and it's at Emerge. It's happening at Emerge.
Yeah. And I think it was a great opportunity for you. You got a chance to be seen on camera and work with a lot of great talents in the indies. I mean, we're talking the Marty Bells of the world, the Alexis Littlefoots, Jason Hodge, our close personal friend Paragon, the veteran Jack Vaughn. You got a chance to work with him. Aaron Williams. I mean, what a great crop of talent that you got a chance to work with, and it's just iron sharpening iron.
And everyone is so different, and just to be able to be in the path of just so much greatness, like, and just by being in that proximity, I get to integrate that into my craft as well. And like you said, it's just iron sharpens iron, and I want to be in the room with people who are constantly elevating, because that's just my vibe. That's just the vibe.
Yeah, no, that is. It really is. It's elevation at its highest form. And that's exactly what I always go towards. And that's what really gravitated me towards wanting to work for Emerge Wrestling as long as I have and do all the things that I've done. And I just knew that it was the right fit for you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Thank
I
you.
knew that it was an opportunity for you to come in and take advantage of a role that was so sorely needed. And we've talked in private and stuff like that
Yes.
about our thoughts as far as like, the art of the independent backstage interviewer, and how it's lost, and how you actually put a real like focus and thought into it. It's not just teeing somebody up for one thing. You actually ask thought-provoking questions, and I think that that's important is in any form of wrestling. I get that sometimes you can see a backstage interviewer as kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a prop to kind of like, hey,
Right.
I'm just going to ask you a layup and you're just going to knock it out of the park. But I think if you're storytelling, having
Mm-hmm.
a more thoughtful investigative journalist is really great for your show, because it helps elevate the story. And I think that's the role that fits you perfectly, and we saw that at Emerge Wrestling.
And I have a background in journalism, so just to be able to use
That makes
what has
sense.
served me and bring it to a whole different level. Like, I've honestly, like, if you would have caught me 6 years ago, I never thought I would be doing these things now, especially in this capacity where, like, I've seen so many different reporters, and they're just standing there. They're like you said, they're just feeding someone a question in order to transition into the next segment. No, I want to ask questions that make people feel. I want to understand why did you do that? What was
Yeah.
going through your mind? Like, and I feel like you get so many more chances to look at things from a nuanced perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, most
And
definitely. The voice, Josh Joseph. What's up, man? Thanks
right,
for tapping in.
like, and if people don't know why, then why are they going to care?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that storyline, like, it's the difference between what makes wrestling wrestling and an MMA fight. Why the hell
Yeah.
do we care?
Yep.
So I like, and I had so many great moments with so many different people, and it was just, I can't wait to go back. And thank you for opening the door to that. So
No problem.
without you, maybe Merch would have been somewhere down the road, but you made it happen even faster. So thank you, my friend. And I hope I brought honor to your name, because
I I can tell you did. You
cool.
did a great job. It contributed to, once again, what was a great show, and I love doing commentary there because they just let me be myself.
Yeah.
And they definitely feel that I'm trying to be like the Pat McAfee of the commentary table, and they
And
let me
dude,
be that.
the video with Jack Vaughn, hilarious.
Oh
Hilarious.
man, yeah,
Oh my
that was
God.
awesome.
Dude, that
That
was
was
so
awesome.
great.
That
Just
was one of the coolest things I've got a chance to do recently. That was awesome.
and like you are just so talented in so many different aspects. Like,
Appreciate that.
you're funny. You're committing to the bit. You're an amazing host. So, like, no wonder why you've been around for 6 years, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to stand the test of time, and it's
Oh,
been and it's been, once again, elevation at its highest
we're
form.
climbing. What are we
Yes.
climbing, Con? Where are we?
Uh,
We're right back where we belong.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
You talk about elevating. We're back on the charts, the American charts for Apple Podcast, and I mean we're back at 155, back in there, and we've been giving them a great crop of episodes on top of pulling up to Emerge. And like, anytime that happens, because here's the thing, I have a feeling we always get a download spike every time I do, or somebody in the crew does a show or something like that, because it's always good to get out there in the public every now and again, because
Mm-hmm.
during intermission and even at the end of the show, I had some fans over at Emerge and was like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I love the podcast, you guys are doing great, blah blah, it's
That's
awesome, I
amazing.
always listen to it. I listen, like, people was telling me, Annie, there's like, oh yeah, when I'm driving to work I listen to you guys,
How
or
does
when
that
I'm doing my,
feel? How does
it's
that feel to
great.
you? Is it like, it's like, through all of the times that you're like, man, screw this. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, that's human. But like, you
Yeah,
withstood, and like, people listen to your shows, our shows, on the
our
way to
shows.
freaking work. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
just like, doing what we're supposed to do with the humans we're supposed to do it with. Like,
Yep.
hell yeah,
It's
I
a good
can't ask for
vibe.
better than that. I can't
Yeah,
ask
it's
for much more than
that's
that.
that's why you're not gonna hear me complain a lot, because I am doing everything I wanted to do in my life despite the odds. So it's great. I'm having fun. Emerge was great. We're back on the charts. People are listening. It's just a great vibe, and we had a great weekend of wrestling. Annie, we got a chance to finally meet in person, which was
Yes,
awesome. Got a chance to
yes,
meet Kevin Calloway. He's doing great work on Window Lickers and Dear Pro Wrestling. And of course, any booking that he gets, he's the Chaos Goblin. Check out everything that he's doing. Everything that he's doing. We got a chance to get together with Paragon. Paragon had what I personally feel like is one of his best matches in his title defense. Or one of his
excellent
best title
match.
defenses as Emerge World Heavyweight Champion. It was an excellent match.
Excellent match. Like, just I really feel like Paragon, he is entering a whole new level. I mean, he's already on that level, but he's just the way he
He's
outdoes
elevating.
himself, and
That's the
especially
that
after a match
yeah
with Jason freaking Hotch,
yeah
like, that's going to just reignite the hunger that Paragon just like, you see it come over him when he's in the ring, but like,
yeah.
especially rubbing elbows with people like Jason Hotch, whew, we're gonna
And
see a brand new champion at Emerge 83.
making the BW 500 as well. I
Ah,
mean, just doing awesome things out there. Like, he's doing great work. We're doing great work. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Once again, I love it. But this past weekend was a vibe too, because not only did we get a chance to go to an awesome show, WWE put on an awesome show with
seriously.
Bad Blood. And I'm not going to talk too much about it, because if you guys want to hear what I thought about Bad Blood, check out my solo shot on one of the last episodes that we did. I did it on Monday. It should be available out there now on all major podcasting platforms, Apple and Spotify, yada, yada, yada. But this was one of my favorite pay-per-views where a title did not change hands, and it didn't need to, because the storytelling was just so peak. But once again, you guys know what I think. I want to know what Annie thought of this pay-per-view front to back. Bad Blood from Atlanta, Georgia.
I continue to think that WWE outdoes themselves with their premium live events. I still have the image of the blood pouring down Drew McIntyre's face, just cemented in my neural pathways. Like, how visceral, like his bright blue eyes were through the layers and layers of blood. I'm like, ugh, nope,
Yeah.
nope, nope. But like, it just this pay-per-view, like, I just really feel like it just sent WWE in a much heavier, much darker path. Like, things already feel grittier and nastier. So like, I can't wait to see how even more the heels become, and how it sets the faces off in a huge, larger than life direction. Like, there's such a polarity at work, and the poles are just increasing in the opposite directions, and I just can't wait. I thought Punk and McIntyre, they honestly have match of the year, hands down, no holds
I
bars.
can't argue with that.
Like, months and months and months of the storyline just occurring. Like, you can't get beyond what we saw in Hell in a Cell. Like, two men who hate each other with every fiber of their being. Like, they really put everyone on watch that night. Like, I mean, we saw it last night. Punk, he looked like a shell of a man. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, dude. Like, you're war torn. You're hobbling. You can't even make it to the ring. You need to just sit down, man. Just sit
Yeah.
down. It's okay. We know Punk's got it. We know he's got the fire. Like I just wanted to give him a hug and I wanted to give him a seat and tell him to sit down. But and I think one of the honestly the most what did you think about Raquel's return? Which you were right about, by the way.
Man,
Throwing that
my God. What the hell was that? I was shocked about how right I was. Shocked.
And sometimes we have some clues about hinting towards people's returns, but no, we had no idea. We had no idea that Miss Raquel was going to return
At all.
at all.
So I will say this: I was patting myself on the back like Barry Horowitz, and that was great. But man, they cue what happened there with the miscommunication. I don't know if she showed up too early. The ref was trying to be like it was awkward because he was trying to turn his head and not see it, and then he just had to call it, and then he had to call the match because he saw what happened, and then she still covered Liv Morgan on top of Rhea, even though the bell had clearly rang, and it was just I want good things for Raquel Rodriguez. That's exactly why I even thought in my brain to craft the storyline of her joining the Judgment Day. But damn, that was just you hurt yourself bad when you don't know your cues properly, and it just really hurt her return for me.
And it was one of those things that no one really knows what happened.
Yeah.
Or what went wrong, except the people who are actually in the match and who was actually going through those motions. But I feel like it was one of those moments that just had to be absolutely perfect, where everything was in line, everything went off without a hitch, and it should have been something other than what it was. And I feel like right before Raquel left, there was already kind of lukewarm feelings about her anyway. And this really needed to pop off, and I just don't think it did.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Is once again, like you said, perfectly, by the way. When she left, we was lukewarm on her, and she came back, and it was just kind of like, so we're still in that ground with you. We're like, okay, we really don't see you as competent, as a competent talent right now. We see your potential, but we don't see you as a competent talent.
TBH, I just started calling her Camille.
Oof. Man. Oof. It's
because
tough.
That's how it should have been like. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I think I said it last week. She should have been the whole setup, and we'll talk about it a little bit because we did kind of see something on Monday Night Raw. But she should have been the Big Daddy Cool Diesel to Liv Morgan's Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, and the dynamic would have worked that way. So it can still be that. It was just her return was just. It was
lackluster. It was lackluster.
It did. But all in all, this show wasn't, though, because there was a lot of awesome things that happened in Bad Blood. I'm not going to really ask you what your match tonight is because I already know and I agree with you. I guess what was your favorite moment of the night?
My favorite moment was when during Bayley's and Nia's match, when the ref picked up Tiffany Stratton's case.
Yeah.
And that's when, of course, when Nia would join us in reality again. And she thought that Tiffany was about to cash in because all of the evidence was there. All of the details for her to believe that's what was going on to occur. Like that, I really, really loved that moment. I loved the exchange between Tiffany and Nia because it's one of those things like, you know what? It's human nature. We're going to read the data by which our eyes see. But that just wasn't the case. Was it not? Like, that was one of my favorite moments where I was like, ooh, is Tiffany gonna take advantage of the opportunity? Is she gonna cash in? But I don't know. That was just one of the my favorite moments of the
Yeah.
night. Because I really do feel like that that friendship is probably gonna come to a head soon.
Yeah, I think so. I know Monday when I talked about that, I said that this is quite possibly one of the best storylines I've seen centered around the Money in the Bank briefcase in quite a long time,
Were you
because there
shocked
is a story around it.
when Drew and Punk opened the show?
Initially, yes,
Yeah.
but once you see how the main event unfolds,
Mhm.
it makes sense why
Right.
it had to open, because you have a match like that, you can't really put it somewhere in the middle, so the
Mm-mm.
only place that it goes is either the beginning or the end, and we all know what happened in the end. I'm going to get your thoughts about that, but because all that stuff happened in the end, it couldn't go anywhere else except for the open.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. I just came across something that I thought was interesting. Like, of one of the biggest storylines that we've really been following for the last 10 months, something that carried so much weight and so much heat. I think it really had to be front loaded in at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, for sure. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I wanna ask you this: Where are
Hmm.
you at? Where are you at with Damian Priest and the Finn Balor thing? I feel like that while the match wasn't bad, when I think about Bad Blood, I don't think about that match. What's the direction? What do you think? Because Finn, I felt like Finn was gonna pick up a win and it wouldn't have hurt Damian, but Damian wins. Then I'm just where are you at with it now? Because once again, I know you've been really following the storyline pretty heavy. We've been having you kind of analyze it pretty closely. Where are you at with these two right now?
You know, it's so funny that you asked me that because I was going down the matches that I remembered from Bad Blood, and I'm like, I remembered all of them except this one. And
Wow.
I don't know if that's any consequence, but you know what? On paper, it was an excellent match, but I really think we need a new direction in
Mm,
this. I don't know if it's with Finn or with Damien, but I really think that Finn really could have benefited from having the win. He really could have.
yeah.
I think it really
Yeah.
should have solidified him more um, as the badass that he's being portrayed. Oh my God, when he came out, uh, the words "born identity villain" ran through my head, and
Yeah.
that that's just what Finn Balor reminds me of. Like,
Yeah. I can see that.
but I really think I think we need to move forward past this point because it's getting a little stale, especially if I couldn't remember that it was on the card. Maybe that's just my ADHD brain, which, full disclosure, probably, but it didn't feel memorable. But I really think that
Right.
yeah, I think that hopefully we've reached almost the point of conclusion in this storyline between Finn and Damien.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I like Finn, I like Damien, both great talents. Just right now, it just feels like where are we going with it? That's my big thing. That's what I was saying on Monday. Where are we going with it? So we'll see. And we really didn't see much follow up to it much on Monday Night Raw, if
Mhm.
I'm remembering correctly.
It was
Which
really stacked card anyway.
it
So
really
we didn't
was,
really have
especially
time
since
for it.
yeah, and they've already had to condense down to 2 hours. So yeah, most definitely. Maybe cool it off, let it cool off a little bit. That's probably not a bad idea. But let's talk a little bit about the main event of the evening, where the Bloodline went up against Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. A lot of fireworks went off during this match and post match as well. What are your thoughts on everything that happened, and were you expecting to see all the returns that you saw in that match and segment?
You know, I heard that The Rock was supposed to be in Georgia, and I'm not surprised he made a comeback. You know, and I really feel like with as much as many returns as there were, it had to be main event. And I think that's why I might have said that last week, or I might have said that in one of the chats. But I did see the card that was posted, I think, on one of the gross dirt sheets groups I'm in on Facebook. I mean, I like hearing what the bottom dwellers have to say. I'm curious. I have to. I mean, the IWC, they're fair weather fans anyway. But
oh yeah,
I really do feel it was a crazy main event. I mean, how long do you think Cody is going to hold the belt past this point? That's another thing that I'm really curious about.
yeah. I mean, okay. So I'm trying to figure out when's the last time he defended it, because he didn't defend it at Bad Blood. I'd have to look it up.
Berlin?
I think it was. I think you might be Kevin Owens. And we got to talk about that as well.
Yes.
And we most definitely will. But yeah. So I feel like he's gonna hold it. He's gonna hold it past Crown Jewel, obviously, because he's gonna be facing Gunther for that Crown Jewel championship. You know, which I'm just like on. But then after that, I'm sure he's gonna be doing something in Survivor Series War Games. So he's probably not going to defend the title there. I think that I honestly think there's a reality where Cody Rhodes could hold the title until WrestleMania. I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah, I don't think his title reign is going to be very long. I think those days ended when Roman Reigns lost it.
Yeah, we don't need Reigns that long that often.
No, we don't. And what do you think went through The Rock's mind when he returned to see, like, you know, the bloodline kind of fighting amongst themselves?
It was interesting because there's a lot of, so this is the Roman Reigns effect. Like, now that Roman is back and he's back on, you know, pretty much a regular basis, it seems like, at least even a semi-regular basis would be great for him. It's a ripple effect that he has, because look what we saw with Kevin Owens. There was once again a lot of fireworks that happened during this match and post match, and one was Kevin Owens snapping off on Cody Rhodes in the parking lot and just whooping his ass. And this was not something that was seen on camera. This was a fan footage that was out there, and I really thought that was just a sweet touch. Even if you put a plant in the crowd to video it, just to give it that raw, you know, phone type feel or whatever, like, that's genius.
Like that TMZ effect.
Exactly. So even that's what I would have done. Like, I would have put a plant in the crowd, and that's probably what they did. There was probably a plant amongst the fans that was videotaping it, and then he took the footage and sent it to whatever their social media is, and they're like, fan footage, but the fan actually worked for the company, you know, which is smart, you know. And I loved it. But once again, it's just this ripple effect with Roman Reigns. And I think, to answer your question, I think the thoughts going through The Rock's mind is the bloodline is out of control. Now you have somebody that's supposed to be the tribal chief that is teaming up with a man that I hate, Cody Rhodes. What the fuck is going on here? Everything's in shambles. So he's probably pissed.
I mean, like, in Solo, he is just kind of letting things run amok. So, yeah, I mean,
Solo being a wild boy.
Yeah, it's not very shocking that the bloodline is kind of imploding. So, yeah. I mean, where do you think The Rock is going to have his first point of contention with?
Oh,
do you think it's Solo, or do you think it's Roman?
I think that's a good question. I think it's Roman. I think it'll be Roman first. I think people are going to want to see that confrontation. I think we're going to see a Rock and Cody confrontation as well. I now that Rock's back in the mix, I really don't know where he's going to be going with this, because everybody's saying, "Oh, he's going to be in Survivor Series War Game." I don't see The Rock doing a War Games match. Like, no, he's got too much irons in the fire outside of pro wrestling to be doing a match like that. I think if he's going to do anything, it's going to be singles matches with somebody that's going to take care of him in the ring, and then tag team matches where he doesn't have to work that much. I'd be shocked, absolutely shocked, if The Rock found himself inside the War Games match. I'd respect it, but I'd be shocked. So I just don't know when we're going to see.
It's why.
Yeah, I'm going to say he doesn't really need to. That's a great point. He doesn't really need to.
I mean, maybe like, I don't know, could he be like a referee? Maybe the person who is the arbitrator.
Special enforcer.
Yeah. I mean, something like that I could see him definitely doing. But
yeah, I just don't see
amongst
him.
His family, right?
Yeah, I just don't see him really taking advantage or taking place in a match like that with all the irons this man has in the fire. So, like, it's crazy. Once again, it's that Roman effect. Now that he's here, everything else is kind of going, there's waves there that come with Roman Reigns. And now we see Kevin Owens. What's Kevin Owens going to say on Friday? Why did he do that to Cody? We'll see what he thinks about it. It's just, the show was so good, storytelling wise. It was just excellent. But I will ask you this, because we do got to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk a little Monday Night Raw. I got to ask you this: if you were rating this show based on what you saw, what you watched, and knowing that no titles changed hands, but we saw a lot of twists and turns with returns. We had at least 3 returns. What would you rate this show?
0 out of 5, 0 out of 10.
Out of 10.
I would give it a solid 7.
Okay.
I'd give it a solid 7. I feel like it pushed storylines along that needed to be pushed, and I feel like it also wrapped them up as in the same aspect. Who knows what's going to happen for Drew McIntyre after this?
Right.
And, well, we kind of saw CM Punk hobble out, so who knows what's next for him. But I really feel like it added another layer for Rhea Ripley. And I heard that, you know what, we'll talk about that after the break.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated all of the things that were present in this PLE. I can't wait for a Survivor Series.
Yeah, it was a solid one, most definitely. And we're going to talk about not just the lead up to Survivor Series, but also Crown Jewel, because we have some implications that came with that. And we'll talk more about that because it happened on Monday Night Raw. But first, we got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Exciting things are happening at the Kokomo Press. Yeah, very exciting things. Not only are we bringing you comedy shows, an open mic once a week, skits, videos, funny jokes on our page, and satire news stories, but now you can support us by going to kokomopress.shop. It's that simple. You go to kokomopress.shop, you find a t-shirt, you find a hat, maybe in the future some stickers and some posters. You go on there, you buy one of those from us, and percentage of the proceeds will go to us and help support what we do. We appreciate every person who just likes, subscribes, does all that. But if you go to kokomopress.shop and you buy something, we'll know who you are. You send us a photo of it. We will post it on our page and shout it out. Thank you so much. Go to kokomopress.shop, buy all your shirts and hats needs, and support the Kokomo Press. Thank you guys so much. kokomopress.shop.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, Feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Yo, what is up out there? My name's Hypocrisy Jones from the In Your House podcast and the Kokomo Press, bro. And I'm here to tell you about a party, bro. November 30th in Kokomo, Indiana. It's going down at Outhouse Records as the In Your House Wrestling Podcast hosts a live house party, bro. This is to celebrate and watch WWE Survivor Series War Games. And, bro, we're about to make it lit. This is going to be the best wrestling party that you have ever been a part of in your life, bro. We're going to have wrestling games. We're going to have wrestling karaoke, wrestling themed costume contests. Bro, we're going to have prizes to give away, over $1,000 worth of them. Bro, it's about to be lit. Kokomo, Indiana, November 30th, Outhouse Records. Be there for the party, bro.
Welcome back to In Your House. And you guys already know the vibe. You guys heard the man. Make sure that you get out there for our house party. It's going down Kokomo, Indiana, November 30th. Live podcast prizes. I'll be there. Annie O'Neill will be there. Kevin Calloway will be there. The voice Josh Joseph be there. And the hometown hero Hypocrisy Jones will be there. So it's going to be a great time. Definitely pull up to that. And we're going to keep telling you about that as the days draw near. But we have to talk about Monday Night Raw because this was a pretty good episode of Monday Night Raw, considering that they pushed it back down to 2 hours. There was some things that we saw. There was some people that we didn't see post Bad Blood, and it was just an interesting vibe of a show. And I was like, once it got closer, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. It is about to be ending. So I don't know. I guess for my sleepy ass, I guess it's a good thing. But I gotta ask you, what was your initial thoughts altogether on going on for the first time in like 12 years, 2 hour Monday Night Raw?
First time in 12 years. You know what? No minute has gone unwasted. I was totally awake and alert the entire time because like you blink and you miss something.
Yeah.
So it's either that's one thing that kept me engaged because, there's going to be so many more details kind of compressed into a 2 hour block. So,
yeah.
And it was almost surreal because, there were some weeks where I felt like, it was a struggle to stay awake just because like 3 hours is a long time for me.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
My ADHD ass, like, I can only sit still for maybe 2 hours, 15 minutes at most. Mm-hmm. And like 10:30 past my bedtime. Like I wake up early every day, like Monday through Friday. So like 11:30 is about the time I get home from, sun up to sundown. Like it's a long day. But I had some time to chill after Raw. Like, I got to watch something else. I got to decompress. And I'm like,
yeah, no doubt.
I like 2 hours. I like the 2 hour time block. But I know it's temporary, isn't it? It's going back to 3 once things go back to Netflix.
That is not clear. That is not clear. They have not said that for sure.
Okay.
If it were me personally, I would keep, if they're going to go back to 2 hours, I would not say anything and just keep it, just start Netflix and make it 2 hours. That way people are already conditioned to it. They're already used to it. And here's the thing.
Don't set that expectation. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing with them being on Netflix and I can find to a network, they can go 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2 hours and 30 minutes. They're not conflicted to, time constraints
Right.
because of being part of a network.
Right.
They're on Netflix, so it's going to be a little bit looser with the time, and I think that's really good.
Do you think that there's going to be more mature content featured? Do you think like more blood, more innuendos, more? Do you think I really do think we're shifting away from a PG era?
We are. We are. I think we'll see more blood feuds. I don't know, like I think the amount of like PDA and stuff that they're doing is like with Liv and Dom. I think that's like the right vibe right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like the whole like I think there can be some like sexual innuendo and
Sure.
stuff like that, like a little bit here and there, but nuance it in like an adult cartoon or something like
Right.
that, So just keep it like you watch some cartoons or something and you'd be like, oh, I didn't know they was making a sexual joke back then, but now that I'm an adult, I get it. Like
It's like rewatching Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, oh, for
And
sure.
it's like, oh my
yeah.
God, my parents let me watch this crap.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. So like if you keep it like nuanced in like that, I think you're fine. But I think we do see more blood feuds, more brawling, more
More
things of
brutality.
that nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, more brutality for sure.
I don't think it'll totter into like deathmatch area, but
Nah.
yeah.
Voice does not. He wants his 3 hours back. They got him in those 12 years, bro. They got him. I'll be sleepy, bro. I'll be tired.
I get it, but I like 2 hours.
I think I just like the idea of less being more, and that's exactly because like we didn't see. I don't think Damian Priest was on the show.
No Rhea?
I don't think. Yeah, we had a Rhea video package, but no Rhea. Drew McIntyre. I don't think we saw him. We saw Punk, but I don't think we saw McIntyre. And I once again, I just think it's a good way to stagger off some people and maybe give.
It teaches us how to delay gratification.
Oh
we
yeah.
We don't get to see everyone every week, so it really like makes us want it more.
Yeah.
Like it's
yeah.
like I really like that detail. I think it's really smart. Plus people get to spend more time with their families. They get to be home more, less time to be injured. I mean, I just think the positives outweigh the negatives.
For sure. I enjoy it, and I enjoyed this episode because we got a chance to open it up with a little Intercontinental Championship action, and it was Xavier Woods and Jey Uso for the IC title, and this was it was a pretty good match, a little good back and forth, and it was a match where Xavier really dominated most of it, but he took the loss. And he wasn't very gracious in defeat. What do you think? What are you thinking about what we're seeing here with Xavier Woods? We got a chance to see him get a little opportunity for the IC title. He didn't win, but like it seems like there's still some growing frustration inside Woods. And I'm just like, man, when are we going to see this thing really play out?
I think it's going to be a gradual thing. I really like the fact that it's taking its time to really see that deterioration in his psychology. Like the more he loses, the more he just spirals. And I like that how slowly it's happening. We get to see it in real time. That's one thing I really like about this new generation of storytelling. Like what is happening beneath the surface that we are not seeing, because with less time on the clock for us to watch the show, we have to pay attention. We have to be on it, and I like that. Ideally, like Woods is being put in these positions to be successful, especially at the hands of his tag team partner. And I feel like the more that Kofi puts his friend up on this pedestal, the higher or the more he's going to descend, and the faster that descension is going to accelerate.
Oh yeah. That's a good point. I just there's something happening. I can't put my finger on what exactly is going to happen or when that moment is going to happen because they've been cooking this one up and letting it marinate for a little minute now. Through everything that's been going on with that storyline, they've still let it marinate. So I can't call it. I just know that Jey Uso is still the IC champion, and I really like that new IC title that he's holding. I haven't got a chance to talk about it. It's not that different from the one that like Gunther or Sami Zayn had, but just that little touch of blue that they added, it was just so nice. I don't know, it just really pops on the belt. And I'm somebody who's a huge fan of the lineage of the IC title. So when it looks pretty like that, I'm just like, yeah, I like that. So it's good, and I like the direction that the Intercontinental Championship is taking right now.
And I really like how much it's elevating Jey. It's really nice to see him rise to that summit where we know that he belongs after 14 years on this roster. Like it's really nice to see him enjoy it and add a different nuance to this belt.
I dig it. I love what's moving.
Going back to how you were saying that how Woods it's marinating with him, how we're slowly watching this happen. Like, it's a Karrion Kross effect.
Yeah,
it takes a
really
moment for the neurotoxins to hit the brain.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, I mean the nervous system is starting to shut down. Yeah, starting to shut down. So,
hey, you brought him up, and it's a good point because we're seeing the same thing happen with the Miz right now.
Yeah,
and you know the Miz is asking for match with R-Truth. I don't like R-Truth. He's still kind of confused, but you know he's trying to get his friend back, and I don't think he really sees that Miz is serious about wanting to go back to being the Miz that we've seen for so many years. I do like what's happening with Karrion Kross. I don't know if I need to see him bundled up with the Final Testament or anything like that, but I like this direction with him right now. I think that it's making sense, and we're seeing that kind of flow through, and maybe that can create some opportunity for Karrion Kross in the future to really show what he can do, because Kross is really, really good. I just don't think that he's been displayed in the right way yet.
I agree. I think the rest of the Final Testament, it needs to be 86th. It needs to go.
Yeah.
I feel like the idea was, oh, well, we want to push this person, so let's stick them in a stable. No, it like, I really feel like his storyline is starting to get some traction, but I feel like it's being appended by the rest of the Final Testament.
Yeah, it's definitely weighing him down, because I'm just like, they're all just there. Like, it's not like a faction where there's so many moving parts and like people are handling their own business or doing their own thing. It's just they're just there as like just heavies, and it's just like I don't vibe with it. But one thing I will bring up is that we did see like a glitch on that segment with Miz and Karrion Kross. Who are the Wyatts coming for? Are they coming for Karrion? Are they coming for the Miz? What are you thinking?
Well, I think they might be coming for Karrion Kross. I feel like he has that type of energy that's going to make him pop on Wyatt Six's radar.
Yeah.
You know, whatever is present in Karrion Kross's energy, like maybe that it could be something. I don't know. I don't know what the plans are, and I can't wait to see.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's going to be interesting. And here's the thing, like, we don't know the answers to everything, y'all. We're just, there's got to be a wait and see approach with us too, and we speculate. That's exactly like we're not we might not always be right about something, but it's still fun to speculate, and that's exactly what we do here. But something that did not need to be speculated was this good old fashioned Donnybrook between Sheamus and Pete Dunne.
Whew.
That match
Whew.
actually, for it being like a gimmicky type of match, like it was actually better than what I expected it to be. But what did you think?
You know what? I loved it. That's one thing that really appeals to me. I love the gimmick. I like, you know, historically, England and Ireland, they don't really get along. So
Yeah.
just to see the different historical elements incorporated in this match, it was something that was really interesting. Pete Dunne has a great way of just bringing his opponent, whoever he faces, to even steeper elevations. I love that. He's just such an animal. Like, he's just rabid. I don't know if, like, maybe he didn't get hugged enough as a child, but there's something in him that's a bit unhinged. Like,
Oh yeah.
you don't want to make eye contact with him too long, or you might set him off.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that's the type of pit bull that he is. But like this match here, it just was a good match. I enjoyed it for what it was. Once again, I feel like it was better than what it should have been. It's looking good for even Pete Dunne in the loss, because it's always good to at least give him something to do, and I think that they like him enough that they're going to keep trying to find ways to bring him on TV. But
So you said that this match was better than you thought it was going to be. Why do you say that?
well, so I know that the two men involved are great wrestlers. It's just
Mhm.
sometimes with WWE's history,
Mhm.
not really in like the last like 4 or 5 years, but I mean before that, if they did something like a Miracle on 29th Street fight or something like that for Christmas, or Halloween gimmicky match or something like that, usually it's kind of cheesy and it's kind of
Mhm.
corny, and like there's some violence, but it's just like it's just corny. Like, no, they actually got like really physical and like really used their surroundings, and it felt more like the Donnybrook that I would expect it to be. It's
Mhm.
not that the two men weren't capable enough to put on that match, or that
Mhm.
that they weren't put or given the element, or given the resources and put in the element to have a match. I just figured it would have been like if this was Vince years ago, it would have been like, I'll give him like 5 to 7 minutes and just hit him over the head with a candy cane and just blah, 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 some bullshit.
Yeah,
And it
would
was
have
just
been dumb.
some BS. It's like, yeah, it just would have been some BS, but no, they really let him go, and that's why it kind of exceeded my expectations.
Just the way that Pete Dunne manipulates someone's joints. It's like, what is that?
He's
Is that
one of
what
the
keeps you up at night? Like, just different ways to punish people
Yeah.
in how to apply, different pressure to different body parts to make big ouch. Like, you know
Yeah.
what? I relate. I am a jujitsu practitioner, so I spend a lot of time in my head perfecting my fight IQ. So I really can't say nothing on that. So anyway,
Hey, I feel it. I just, to see what he does to people
Mhm.
is just crazy.
And
But I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Unmitigated violence. That's what he brings you. But we talked a little bit, because we didn't get a chance to talk about CM Punk kicking off the show.
Mhm.
You talked a little bit about it on the first segment, but what we didn't talk about is how he came face to face with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins interrupted. And I didn't want to not talk about that,
Yeah.
because like we know that Punk is going to be gone for a little bit, as he made clear in the promo. But I guess one thing I got to ask you is, are we finally going to get it? Is it finally going to happen since he came back to the company? The one man who was talking more shit about CM Punk when CM Punk was in AEW, having little candid interviews here and there. Then he comes back. CM Punk comes back to the company last year at Survivor Series. And who's the guy that you see going crazy and is pissed off? Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins cannot stand this man. And he came out, interrupted Punk. And I guess I just got to ask, is that next for Punk when he comes back?
Man, I hope so. I mean, we can't just not capitalize on something that's just going to create so much money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, like CM Punk needs to go off. He needs to heal. And then I think it's on to the next feud. Like,
so, okay. All right.
We got a match. We got kerosene. Let's let the heat go and do what it's going to do. It's going to pop off.
So when do you pull the trigger? When do you make the match? When do you do the match? When's the right time for that match to happen?
I mean, maybe before Survivor Series. That's the last pay-per-view of the year, right?
I think it is, yeah.
I mean, why not just before that, so we can extend this till WrestleMania?
See, but I don't think CM Punk is going to be there for Crown Jewel.
No.
I don't think he's. They're going to write it. From what I understand, they're going to write. The reason that they're writing him off TV is until after Crown Jewel, because he does not like the Saudi shows and he refuses to be a part of them.
I mean that's fair. I mean, I personally wouldn't want to go to the Saudi shows either. But as far as like, I feel like Rollins and Bronson Reed have to come to a head first.
For sure, yeah.
But then that begs the question: how long is that going to last? Until
that could last a little bit. I honestly, I think the very soonest, if we don't see it at WrestleMania, I think we could see Punk and Rollins at the Royal Rumble.
You know, I think that would be a good enough time for Punk, to heal up, to sit on the back burner for a while, let people miss him, and when he comes back, I think that's when. I think what might happen. I think we're setting up for Seth and Bronson to have a few matches. They'll go back and forth for a while, but then as soon as maybe. I'm foreseeing it right now. Seth pins Bronson Reed, and then while he's riding that high, that's when we see a Punk return.
Yeah, we could see that for sure. I still think that we could see. I think we could see Punk and Gunther in the interval before Seth and Punk meet. I think there's still a possibility that we're going to see Punk and Gunther go at it for the World Heavyweight Championship. And wow, wouldn't it be something if Punk won the title from Gunther and Seth Rollins faced CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship?
Now we're booking. Oh, yeah.
And honestly, I don't think the feud needs the title. But I think that there'd be a story there if Punk were the champion. It would piss Seth off because it's like this guy who turned his back on the company and went to a completely different company and then came back when he realized the grass wasn't greener on the other side. He now holds the title that I made. He now holds the title that I was the one who held it for the first time and put prestige on it, and I'm not going to let you have that. I'm not going to let you do it. I don't think this feud needs the World Heavyweight Championship, but I think the World Heavyweight Championship could help slightly elevate the feud in a different direction, that it would just piss Rollins off that Punk has that belt.
Then who would Punk drop it to?
Ideally, probably Seth Rollins. I mean, I could see that.
He needs a long title run in that case? I don't think he needs to hold it very long. Not at all.
No, I don't think
he would go back to Gunther?
It'll find its way back there. It'll most definitely find its way back there. I think just watching Gunther in the time that he's been a world heavyweight champion, which has been since SummerSlam, he's elevated himself. He's been part of really good feuds and matches. He has solidified himself as a talker, something that people have been trying to throw dirt on his name for. I'm like, no, bro, you can't tell me that Gunther can't talk. He can handle himself on the mic, and he can burn you while he's doing it.
Because it's so funny because people shut up while he listens. What does that say to you?
Exactly, because he actually has a presence when he talks, and he has substance when he talks. He's gonna take your shortcomings and he's gonna throw them in your face, and that's exactly what he does. And it's a simple tactic, which is why people call it old school, but it's a tactic that works, and it works really well.
He doesn't need more than that. He doesn't need to do more than what he's currently doing. He's doing the simple things and making it seem like it's just larger than life. Like,
yeah. So it's a possibility as far as anything I said could happen. But to answer your question, the title will find its way back to Gunther because he's been elevated as a personality. It'll find its way back to him because he's just that damn good, and I believe him. But we got to stay with Gunther here real quick because it's about that time. We're gonna have to slide out here, but we got to talk about the main event. I want to get your thoughts. Sami Zayn, Gunther. Sami fell short. Gunther still champion. What's next for Sami?
Well, we saw that he approached Cody Rhodes about going to Crown Jewel, right?
Yeah. Yep. He wanted to face Cody at Crown Jewel, but now it's solidified that it's going to be Gunther and Cody Rhodes. And that's where we're at right now with old Sami.
You know, I think we predicted this outcome, but this is what I was afraid of. I'm not sure what's next for him. Does he go back and challenge for the IC title?
That feels like a step back.
I don't want Sami to fall into obscurity. I mean, I know he is well loved, but I don't know. Like, is a heel turn next? He doesn't need to do that either. I don't think. I don't think he needs that. I think who we have now as Sami is probably who we're gonna see likely for the remainder of his career. And it's just because he's just so naturally likable. And, I can't agree more. Like, Sami is the person that you want to cheer for. You want to see him overcome his struggles. And, he got that win over Gunther once, and that was it. I honestly do not know what's next for Sami, and
it's tough to say.
I mean, maybe do you think he could go to SmackDown? What's there to do for him on SmackDown?
I mean, the only thing I could think what might be next for him, and this isn't even like set in stone or anything like that. This is just me pitching. Like, if they really don't have anything else for him, maybe he ends up in War Games alongside Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and possibly even Cody Rhodes to go up against the Bloodline in War Games. So that's a possibility. But other than that, I can't say that I know. I mean, and it's okay because I think Sami's going to land back on his feet because Sami knows how to do that. But I can't speak to say what's next for him because now we know what's next for Gunther. He's going to be going up against Cody for that Crown Jewel Championship at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. And man, I got to tell you, we got to slide out of here. But man, I was not with that title. That's just me.
I hated it. I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, like, now, I thought it was a women's Intercontinental Championship. I was mad. I thought we was finally going to get the women's IC title. I'm like, you get this pointless Crown Jewel title? I don't care. Like, I don't care. But whatever. But yeah, I was not with that title.
I'm like, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. Like, I feel like, whoever was designing that belt, like, it was really close between two decisions, but last minute, that's the one they picked, and it's like, should have thought again.
Yeah, I get that it's supposed to be like for bragging rights or something, but couldn't you give him something else, or couldn't this be about something else, or maybe I don't know what you put on the line here.
I
That I
mean,
really don't.
it's an arbitrary title that's just gonna sit on someone's mantle.
Yep, that's
Like,
exactly what it's gonna do.
you know, I get that bringing the belts over and maybe not challenging or putting them on the line. I understand it, and I get it that it's specifically for that Saudi crowd, which is fine. But maybe like some type of tournament, maybe some type of I don't know, like
I think a
something
tournament would
that
have been better.
something that parallels like the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring. Like, see, that was something that was it substantiated that pay per view.
At least doing that and giving them that belt. It's like, okay, well, you could have gave it to somebody that's like maybe not really doing anything, or maybe somebody that you have plans to kind of elevate or something like that. Or but like when you only thing that I can see coming out of a definitive winner between Gunther and Cody Rhodes, and then Liv Morgan and Nia Jax is, well, one champion is better than the other. I mean, one championship is better than the other championship, and I'm like, I thought they were supposed to be on the level, but like,
Right.
we have to have a definitive winner, so now it's going to make one title look better than the other. So
And I don't think that's a really good decision either. So
yeah, I don't. But once again, this going back to the Monday Night Raw, I thought it was good. I do like 2 hours. I think that if there's anything that didn't pop off for anybody on Monday Night Raw, I think they'll clean it up, give them a chance, because now they're condensing their show. So just give them a chance to figure it out. They're not gonna have the fluentness right off the bat of a SmackDown, because SmackDown's
SmackDown
been
only
2 hours for a
2
while.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. And SmackDown tells you a pretty fluent story. I think that they're going to find that good formula for Monday Night Raw, because Monday Night Raw, I mean, it's easy to say that it was built for 3 hours because they had the personnel and they were able to have the content. But then, like, especially like 10 years ago, those were long watches. Those were long, dragged out watches. So, yeah, I thought this Monday Night Raw was good. Had to get your thoughts on it, but now I think this show was good, and we got to ride off into the sunset. You got places to be and people to see, and I got to do the same. But of course, I got to give you the platform here to plug anything that you want to plug. Where can they find you at, Annie?
Next week. Where will I be next week? I have all of these things planned in my head, but then they just wave as they pass me by. But this week on Bumping and Thumping, I have my friend Alakan coming on. Yeah, we are it's a crossover, so that's gonna be nice. That'll be dropping next week. I got an episode dropping this week. Who knows who it will be? I guess we'll see when we upload it, because I like to leave everyone hanging on. This weekend, I'm going to be retreating to my fortress of solitude and unplugging, going off grid from this world, because we'd love to bring the masses joy. We like to bring them content, but I gotta recharge too. So that'll be my primary focus this weekend. So
Yeah.
and you never know what I'll be up to. So
Hey, at this point, we never know where you'll pop up at.
absolutely.
And that's
Everywhere.
great stuff. We love to hear it. And you guys already know where I'm going to be at, right here doing my thing at In Your House, making sure that everything is going how it needs to go. Guys, we appreciate you guys for real, because you guys keep on watching, keep on downloading. We're back on those charts again, which is great. We got peeps coming up to us at independent wrestling shows saying that they love the podcast. We appreciate y'all. I appreciate you guys who came up to me at the table during intermission and whatnot. That was great. And we're just going to keep on rolling and keep on going with the great content that we're giving you, because, hey, that's exactly what In Your House is known for, giving you that work, because it's HOWSC, and that W stands for work. So for the big dog, divinely designed Danny O'Neill, for the voice, Josh Joseph, for Hypocrisy Jones, for Grundmeister, for Kevin Calloway, for the world's most dangerous podcaster paragon, I am Alakan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.